Fox News has a new talking point, which is that people who are Wall Street titans, investor legends like Warren Buffett, are socialists. Now, yesterday, Warren Buffett wrote a New York Times op-ed saying, for the love of God, tax the rich. So we have plenty of money. We're at record low tax rates. This is unconscionable. All we're doing is hitting the middle class. I pay less taxes than my secretary and everyone else at the office. It's outrageous. So Eric Bolling, who works for Fox Business News, which is a comedy and a joke, said that Warren Buffett was following Obama's, quote, socialist handbook. And let me give you another quote from Bolling. He said, what is this? Is he completely a socialist? This is referring to Warren Buffett. Is he completely a socialist? He's playing to Mr. Obama's hand of tax anyone who makes money and give it to the people who don't work. Yeah, because Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, who got that money by investing in businesses. I mean, if you think of capitalists, the guy you think is Warren Buffett. He wants to help the middle class. What is he, a socialist? Why doesn't he want to take all the money for himself? Oh, this guy's basically a traitor. I can't believe it, right? And that's not all. Ace Greenberg goes on to talk with Neil Cavuto on Fox. And Ace Greenberg is a former head of Bear Stearns. And in fact, in the beginning of this intro, Neil Cavuto introduced him as the most celebrated Wall Street titan of all time. Nonetheless, Cavuto is going to disagree with him that we should ever help the middle class. Let's watch.
I could have written the whole op-ed piece. I've been saying it for, I can't tell you how long, Neil. I think it's ridiculous. When these people talk about that you can't raise taxes during a depression or recession, even among the rich, they're out of touch with reality. I mean, they really think that if you raise the taxes on Warren Buffett or on Bill Gates, they're going to fire people? It's ridiculous.
Most celebrated Wall Street titan of all time, according to Neil Cavuto, saying this is Warren Buffett's 100% right. What are you going to do? But Neil Cavuto is going to challenge him. Let's watch.
Here's where I would argue with you, and I want to give my thought and just pick it apart as you do it. Before we talk about raising taxes on anyone, we should look at the underlying product and whether it's worth them charging more if we haven't addressed and weeded out the costs in the underlying product.
But you're saying there's a negative to raising the taxes for the very rich? What's the negative? They're going to leave the country, or what are they going to do? They're going to fire people that work for them?
That's superfluous. I think that's not it.
I love that. That's superfluous. No, that's exactly the point. He's like, well, what are you going to do? Move to Somalia? No, this is where business is. And I'm telling you, because this is where I do business. This is where Warren Buffett does business. And we're not going to leave the country. You tax the rich, not because you want to hurt them and not because you got anything against them. Obviously, Ace Greenberg and Warren Buffett are fabulously rich. It's not to hurt themselves. It's because you need some degree of fairness so that the middle class and the poor don't pay all the bills. We're at a record low tax rate. Raise it a little bit so that we can balance the budget and we could all be better off. But Fox doesn't want to hear that. They're like, I'm going to challenge you here. I don't know. Buffett's a socialist, and this Ace Greenberg guy talking about taxing the rich is no good. Now, why is there this disparity, by the way? It's because not all rich people are bad or greedy or don't think that we should, have some equity in the country. Obviously, as you can tell, some are making great arguments. And I've said this from day one. I say it every single time we talk about this issue. This isn't about rich versus middle class versus poor. But they're not the ones that give money to the politicians. Ace Greenberg and Warren Buffett aren't going to say, here, take all my money to make sure you tax me more, right? They're not going to lobby in favor of that. They just have their ideas. And I'm glad that they're sharing those ideas. It's still important. But the rich that are greedy pay people like Rush Limbaugh, Fox News, all the Republican senators and congressmen, most of the Democratic senators and congressmen, to make sure that the taxes are at a record low so they make more and more money. So the rich who are greedy and use politics and the media win, and the rich who are not greedy can only go out there and every once in a while make a point and then melt away. Unfortunately, that's the state of our current politics.